Okay, you guys, happy Saturday. Yes, we are out here door knocking. So I wanted to make this video for you guys because I posted something on Facebook where I partnered with another wholesaler. So we did a JV agreement where we both profited. So I had a couple people that were interested in saying, hey, Brandon, can you please make a video explaining that whole process, how everything went down? So I said, okay, sure, no problem. So I'll probably get more interest on Facebook, but I'm at least going to post this to YouTube as well. So here's the deal, you guys. I had an amazing JV partner, wholesaler. Her name is Rachel. She came to me and said, Brandon, I need your help with this one. They owe a good amount of money on the property. They can only take, they need to walk with some money. They don't want to walk with nothing. They need to move immediately. They're going out of the state. And they want X amount of money, and I just don't think that we can find a buyer for that for its current condition. And I said, okay, cool, no problem. Let's go walk it. Let's figure it out. So we partnered up. We walked the property together. Her assessment was correct that for the condition of the property, there's a lot of work that needed to be done. I mean, they did some weird epoxy job in both of the bathrooms and the kitchen. Basically, I don't know, they thought they were doing something good, but it actually made it worse. So now, instead of just having to do paint and carpet and some repairs, now it's like a full kitchen remodel, and both of the bathrooms need to be remodeled. So anyways, I told them, I said, hey guys, this is going to be pretty tight. I'm going to have to find someone to partner with me, right? Because, I flip properties. So I said, I'm going to have to find somebody to partner with me and Rachel here, to try to make this work. So I might have a couple partners come through, right? Other flippers, investors, right? So we tried that. I reached out to some people. I did tell them, I said, hey guys, this is, I don't know if I can find a partner on this, but I'm going to try. So that's what I did. I reached out to all my wholesaler friends, all my investor friends, and everybody told me what I pretty much already knew, is that the margins were just too tight. They basically owed, I believe it was $280, and really the most an investor could pay was like $240. So they were essentially upside down. They didn't have time to list it on the market, and honestly, it wasn't in great condition for listing it on the market. So what we did is we went back to them. And I said, hey, Rachel, you need to, because she connected with these people, she found them, she built all the rapport, so I was leaning heavy on Rachel as kind of like my partner on this. I said, hey, you need to kind of break the bad news to them and tell them that, we don't think we can get them a cash offer above what they owe. And honestly, not even at what they owe. They'd have to cut us a check to buy it from them, which obviously nobody wants to do. And these people didn't have the funds to do it. So I said, instead of just calling it a dead deal, I got Lauren on the phone, was her name, Lauren, with Rachel on a three-way. And I said, Lauren, if we were to buy this property from you, how much were you hoping to walk away with? And she said, really, guys, really, I have to get at least $12,000. And I said, Lauren, what if I gave you $12,000? And she said, that would be great. That would solve all my problems. That would get me, out of town to where I need to go. And I said, and do you care how that happens? Do you care if I just cut you a check for $12,000? Can we just figure it out? And she said, absolutely, whatever we need to do. So I said, perfect. You're going to keep the loan in your name. We're going to make the payments on your behalf. And you're going to get $12,000, and you're never going to have to worry about this property again. How does that sound? And she said, that's fantastic. So that's what we did. We went from a cash offer, which would not work, to a creative offer, which did work. And I believe the terms were, we're taking over the property exactly as it is. So it wasn't any type of wrap. It was just sub to the existing mortgage. However, we did tell her that we would refinance and have a balloon payment within 5 years. I think was the only thing different than what was on her mortgage. And she ended up, if I remember correctly, and Rachel could probably correct me on this, we made $10,000, which was great. Our buyers only had to come out of pocket $22,000, right? 10 to us, 12 to her. So Lauren got exactly what she wanted. we got paid, which was amazing, because if you just looked at a cash deal, dead deal. And she wouldn't have been able to list it either. Like, there was problems with that place. So we found a buyer, they bought the property, they get amazing terms. I believe her interest rate was like a 3.5 or a 3.75. They get that for 5 years while they continue to work on the property, improve the value, you know, whatever it is they need to do. They're probably, you know, they're going to put a renter in it, obviously. So they're going to do that. They're going to cash flow handsomely. So that was the other part of it, is that the payment was, I think, just around $2,000, like $1,950 a month or something. And this is like a full-on townhouse, like 4-bed, 3-bath townhouse, nice, with a backyard and everything. So I think it was going to rent for like 26. So like they were going to make like make $700 a month every month once they put a renter in there, and obviously cleaned it up. So, you know, there's a difference between flipping the property and then making it rental grade. So that's what they're going to do. And honestly, I might reach back out to that guy and do a walkthrough with you guys, make another video just to kind of show, you know, what they did. Because I do have some videos and pictures before the property was sold. So it'll be very interesting to see what they do with it. But anyways, I just wanted to make that video for you guys so you kind of explain, like, everybody wants to be cashed out. That's what everybody wants. And I want that too, right? It's just a clean break. Everybody's happy. There's no one else involved. That just cash, deal's done. But in circumstances where that is impossible, and I can't even kick it to a real estate agent and get a marketing fee, creative terms for the win. So that's exactly what happened. Let me know if you guys have any other questions in the comments down below. Peace.